Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be, is she playing mind games? Well, I've got 3 emails I'm going to go through with you today. And the reason I chose all 3 of these is because all 3 of these guys are just kind of getting jerked around. And these are good emails to go through because they're basically investing their time in somebody who's not really reciprocating. And this is important because when you love and you value yourself, you're going to notice what the other person is contributing back to, whether it's a friendship or a client or somebody you work for or somebody you're dating. Relationships all revolve around the whole purpose being you go there to give. And you want somebody who will mutually give to you and mutually appreciate you and mutually admire you. And the reality is most people are not. Most people aren't going to see your value. And something that's very healthy to accept, especially when you're young, is that most people aren't going to like you. Most clients aren't going to buy from you. Most people aren't going to want to be your friend. Most people aren't even going to want to talk to you or hang out with you. That's just reality. And so you kind of have to look at life as really about prospecting for all areas of your life that are important to you. So you can acquire good quality people who really care about you, who really value you, who really go above and beyond and make the mutual effort because they value you and they appreciate you. And you've got to get good at separating the wheat from the chaff, if you will, the people that really care about you versus the people that want something from you, because there's lots of users and takers in the world. So I got a quote that I wrote, and then we'll go through the first guy's email. And the quote says, "You should never try to keep someone in your life who makes little to no reciprocal effort to keep you in theirs. Love is a two-way street. It should be an earned privilege for someone to be an important part of your life. People who won't make a mutual effort to make you a priority in their life deserve no part in yours. Keeping people in your life who don't value, appreciate, and respect you invites more of the same. The quicker you can identify and eliminate the time wasters, tire kickers, users, and takers, the more easy and effortless your life and relationships will be. And also, they'll be fulfilling because you'll be actually getting value out of your relationships and you'll be investing value as well. And because it sucks having people in your life that are just not reciprocating. And part of learning to love and value yourself is recognizing when somebody makes the effort and somebody doesn't. And wish them well. It doesn't mean you wish ill on them. It just, hey, it's not a match, and that's okay. That's why we interact with other people, to find out whether or not we're a good match for each other. Whatever type of relationship it is that we're looking for. So let's go through the first guy's email. He says, "Hey, Coach Corey, I've been following your work for a few months now, and I was hoping to get some advice from you. About a few months ago, I ran into one of my exes, and we started talking and reconnecting. We hung out a few times and seemed like we could have started another relationship together, but she kept giving me this vibe that she wasn't over her ex, so I slowly started breaking contact with her because I didn't want to be her rebound." Well, obviously, in those kinds of situations where you're dealing with, in this case, you're running into an ex who you had a previous relationship with, but she's still stinging from a previous breakup. Those kinds of situations, you're going to want to invite the woman to make the effort to spend time with you, to see you, to be with you. And it's just best to let her do most of the calling, texting, and pursuing in those situations, especially if she's trying to get over somebody, because if you're dealing with somebody that just ended a relationship, they're typically not going to be the best candidate to date because they haven't taken the time to heal yet. So he says, "Eventually I stopped replying to her and went on about my life. I focused on work and school a lot and basically went a little antisocial. A few weeks ago, she reached out to me and asked, 'Hey, how are you?' I replied with, 'I'm doing great. How about yourself?' She said she was doing fine. I told her, 'Well, I'd really love to meet up and catch up. When are you free?' She told me the days that she's off from work and we set a date. On the day of the date, I texted her about an hour before to let her know I was on my way to pick her up. And she said to give her a little more time because she was running errands with her parents. That's really nice of her. Today's mug is the asshole-free zone. He says about an hour later, she replied saying that she wasn't going to make it. So I told her that was fine and asked her if she wanted to reschedule. I would have never done that. Because now you're just saying, hey, thanks. Can I have another? Can you jerk me around some more? You just told her it was totally okay to make plans and then just blow you off and string you along and leave you hanging. This is a big part of your problem. This obviously is not the first time you've done this. So you're actually enabling her behavior to continue jerking you around. She said yes to reschedule, and we set up a date. And again, on the day of, she gave me the excuse that she wasn't feeling well. I didn't make a big deal out of it and said that was fine. I would have just said, hey, get in touch when you feel better. We'll get together then. But did he do that? No. He says, I waited a couple of weeks to ask her out again, and she agreed to go out. So we set up a date on the day of the date. She texted me asking if it was okay to bring a friend. So she wanted to bring a cock blocker along. This is just this is what happens. You're chasing, you're pursuing her, and it's like you're letting her jerk you around, and now she's like, oh, let me just have a friend there, because I know what he wants. I know he wants to date me. But obviously she ain't feeling it. That's why she wants to have a friend there. I told her that I hadn't seen her in a while and that I was hoping to have a one-on-one time with her. After that, she didn't reply back. She blew off our date and didn't reply until the next day, saying that she got caught up on family stuff. That's just a lie. She's a fucking lying sack of shit. I'm sorry, dude. Asshole free zone, I would be punting her out of my life permanently. But this guy is a glutton for punishment. He says, I told her that was okay and all, but she could have at least had the decency to let me know instead of having me waiting. And that it had been a few times already that I asked her to hang out, and she kept giving me the runaround, canceling dates. So I told her if she wanted to go out, that she knew where to find me and contact me, and if not, that I would understand and leave her alone. She said she was sorry and that she didn't want me to leave her alone, that she was just going through some things. Sure, that sounds totally legit. She said she was sorry. Where is she sorry? And was going to make it up to me, and that she was going to set up a date for us. I told her to let me know when she decides. That was about 3 weeks ago, and I haven't heard from her since. Should I contact her or just wait until she contacts me? What should I do? Come on, man. She said she was going to contact you. I would let this woman do 100% of the calling, texting, percent. I would never call her again for any reason. You should be following what's in 7 Principles to Get an Ex Back. If she wants to see you, if she reaches out, assume she wants to see you, invite her over to make dinner, make a definite date. You definitely need to be reading 3% Man so you understand the fundamentals. Because obviously reading through this, you're not following it. You're chasing after a girl who blows you off, and then you try to make another date, and then she blows you off again, and then you're still pursuing her. You got to pay attention to how they're treating you. She's acting like somebody that doesn't give a damn about you. You're way more into seeing her than she is into you. And her actions reflect that she's not feeling it, bro. And she's kind of an asshole for jerking you around and lying to you. It's like, personally, if it was me, I'd block that number. I wouldn't have anything to do with somebody like that. She's a feral human. So let's go to the second email. It says, hi, Corey. So I've been on 3 dates with this girl. Long dates, walking arm in arm, holding hands, but she won't kiss me. Not even a simple first day style clasp of the lips good night. She told me she fears COVID. That seems like a valid fear, but I cannot get over the suspicion that I've either been put in the friend zone or soon will be. I tried to kiss in the first date, got a firm COVID risk speech, COVID, but yet you're holding hands and everybody touches their face. Oh, can't get COVID that way. There was a study that came out of the CDC. It's like over 70% of the people that got COVID were avid mask wearers. But yet masks work, right? It makes sense. Isn't it great if Joe Biden Trump loses all his legal challenges and Biden becomes the president? His COVID person that's in charge of it wants to do a 4 to 6 week lockdown nationwide in the United States. Great. Really, that's going to be great for the economy. It's going to really help a lot of people. Fucking morons. And all you people that voted for that fucking douchebag, go fuck yourself. I don't care. You can unfollow me. I don't give a shit. And I got friends and family members that voted for the douchebag, but it is what it is. So you get to reap the whirlwind. If he gets seated, we'll have another 4 to 6 week lockdown. And you bitches that lose your jobs because of it, don't be fucking crying about it, because that's what you voted for. Is this me properly respecting a woman with a valid health concern? Or am I emasculating myself by not going for the kiss eventually? Well, you did go for it, you said, and she rejected you. And as I talk about in 3% Man, you get the cheek or a girl doesn't kiss you back, she's out. I don't ever waste my time with that. Never, ever, ever. It feels like if I continue on this path, I'll be a friend soon if I'm not already. Should I just chill? Yeah, I wouldn't call her or ask her out or anything. I'd let her reach out to you. Personally, I wouldn't go out with this girl again. I wouldn't do anything. But I know you're probably a glutton for punishment and you're hoping you can turn things around. But this girl's either structured, following a bunch of rules, and is using the COVID risk, or she likes going out. And in some cultures, like especially if you've ever dated a Brazilian, it's totally common to meet a Brazilian out and just be making out, and it's like not a big deal. Doesn't mean you're gonna sleep with each other or date. It's a kiss. Sometimes a kiss is just a kiss, and there's nothing wrong with that. But obviously in this case, you ain't getting no kissy poo, so she's out of here. I wouldn't waste my time with that. So let's go to the last email. He says, hey, Corey, I've been going through a pretty hard breakup, and your videos have been a huge help. I broke up with my girlfriend 5 months ago because I needed some time to think about the next step, moving in together after graduation. I missed her right away, and we stayed in contact constantly, but I did not get back together with her because I wanted to give it time to see if it was just me missing her or if I was really ready for the next step with her. Yeah, breaking up with somebody to determine whether or not you want to stay with them, if you broke up with them, obviously you're not feeling like you can't live without them. You don't break up with somebody that you're in love with. You just don't. You break up with somebody that you're not feeling it, and you kind of deep down know you should move on. But people keep those exes in their lives because they're too afraid to move on, because they're thinking, what if I never find anybody better? What if the next person is not as good as the last one? So they figure, hey, you can't steal second base and keep your foot on first. You got to take some risk. And that risk is obviously in this case that you lose her forever potentially to somebody else, which kind of sounds like that's looking like what's happening anyways. A month went by after the initial breakup and things were good between us. I worked out some of my insecurities and asked if she wanted to get back together. We started hanging out for a couple of weeks and I thought for sure things were back to normal. Then I noticed she was Snapchatting another guy. I asked her about it, and she said she met him over the 4th of July, only a month after we broke up, and that she liked him and he's coming to visit her. He lives 13 hours away. He's come to visit one more time since then, and obviously rearranging her insides for her probably. She's adamant about staying friends and still talks to me even when he is here visiting. She also says things like, I don't know the future. Maybe we will be together then. In other words, you're in backup zone. She's banging this other guy. She's got you stuck in friend zone. So if it doesn't work out with him, in her mind's like, hey, I'll just call you. Asshole free zone, bro. Teespring.com. Got plenty of these. Have on your desk to remind you. So you're enabling her behavior by agreeing to sit around hoping that things are going to change. He says essentially she has a rebound who lives 13 hours away. Well, actually, this is he's now the primary guy that she's dating and fucking, and you are the friend zone guy. You're the backup plan, bro. Now, you probably don't want to hear that, but that's what it is. Essentially, she has a rebound who lives 13 hours away but still reaches out to me. I was begging and pleading in the beginning and decided to do no contact, but only a week will go by and she'll be texting me wanting to hang out. Sorry for the long message. What should I do? Well, if she texts and wants to hang out, invite her over to make dinner together. But, you're not interested in platonic friendship. If she wants to hang out, have fun, and hook up, that's a different story. But forcing you to stay in friend zone and her come over, so she can strut around in front of you and enjoy the validation she gets from you and then goes off and fucks the other guy? Absolutely not, dude. You got to read 3% Man. I would also encourage you to read Mastering Yourself. You can read both for free at understandingrelationships.com. All you got to do is subscribe to the email newsletter. So if you're in a sticky situation and you're being tortured by your emotions, or you just want to get peace of mind before you pull the plug, and because a lot of times I do phone sessions with guys, they're like, I thought you were going to say that, but man, it sure makes me feel a lot better knowing that I analyze the situation. Because obviously when your emotions are wrapped up in something, especially if you've got family involved or it's a long-term relationship that's involved and you're not sure whether or not to stay with this person or if they're right for you, I'm a good, unbiased person to listen to the whole story and give you totally objective opinion on where you stand with her and looking at things you probably haven't looked at. So if you're interested in a coaching session, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book a coaching session with yours truly. And remember to keep your lives asshole-free zones.